The roots of contemporary Hinduism lie buried in the ancient layers of a historical religion that shaped the beliefs of millions.
That sounds fascinating. What exactly is this Vedic religion?
It was a complex set of religious practices and ideas that emerged among the Indo-Aryan peoples in the northwest Indian subcontinent.
And many of those practices are still echoed in modern Hinduism today, though it's quite different from its ancestral form.
So, modern Hinduism is a mix of this ancient religion and something else?
Absolutely. We can trace its evolution back through various cultures and influences. As we move forward, we'll uncover those threads that connect the past and present.
The journey of this religion is filled with transformation, influenced by surrounding cultures over millennia.
Vedism marks the earliest form of this religion, rooted in early migrations into the Indus Valley during the second millennium BCE.
How does that differ from Brahmanism?
Brahmanism developed later, around 1000 BCE, and it brought more inclusivity to the table.
Exactly. While Vedism was strictly bound to the Vedas, Brahmanism integrated other practices like temple worship and meditation.
Temple worship. So what does that mean for the spiritual practices of that time?
It transformed how people connected with the divine. Rituals became more communal, and spiritual leaders played crucial roles.
And keep an eye on how that evolved. It's an important theme in our next discussions.
The terms ancient Hinduism and Vedic Hinduism signify this fascinating evolution over centuries.
Were people able to relate these practices to what we now consider Hinduism?
Initially, many believed Vedic religion was separate from Hinduism, but as colonial influences surfaced, a fusion of old and new ideas arose.
The Brahmo Samaj and Neo-Vedanta movements aimed to restore a supposedly pure form of Hinduism, reacting against Puranic superstitions.
Interesting. Did this return to the Vedas reshape the public perception of Hinduism?
Indeed, many scholars now see the historical Vedic religion as foundational, but significant differences remain, like beliefs in reincarnation.
And watch out for the intriguing debate about whether Hinduism encompasses Vedism and Brahmanism.
With the collapse of the Indus Valley Civilization, the Vedic religion began to flourish among Indo-Aryan tribes migrating into the region.
So this foundational belief system was influenced by earlier cultures as well.
Precisely. The syncretism with the Harappan culture and ritual elements from the Andronovo culture shaped its practices.
It's a complex tapestry of beliefs, reflective of a blend of old traditions and new elements.
Are elements of this ancient religion still alive today?
Absolutely. Communities like the Kailash in northwest Pakistan still practice forms of this ancient Vedic religion.
Not to mention potential echoes in places as distant as Japan, where Shinto may display Vedic influences.
Brahmanism emerged as the Vedic religion matured, assimilating fresh ideas and practices across a wider region.
How did it manage to become so influential?
By positioning the priestly class at the heart of society and integrating a range of post-Vedic texts, it gained significant power.
The term Brahmanism even became shorthand for Hinduism in some circles during the 18th and 19th centuries.
So that term has evolved in meaning.
Very much so. Brahmanism faced challenges as new political powers emerged and still adapted to remain relevant.
Raw power dynamics often influence religious practices, a cycle that continues into contemporary discussions.
So Brahmanism influenced modern Hinduism but has also faced opposition?
Yes, and that tension gives rise to fascinating debates surrounding privilege and religious practice. Even now, the implications of Brahminical ideology are felt in Indian society.
And that leads us to consider how these ancient influences resonate with today's controversies. But more on that in our upcoming chapters.